There's a lot of stuff out there trying to kill us right now, and today I'm going to talk about the ones that are the best at it, the 5 deadliest infectious diseases in the world. Now do yourself a favor, put away any food you might have nearby you, and if you have a dog you might want to move it into another room. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell for more amazing videos every day. You might be tempted to say the monstrous bastards I'm about to talk about are the deadliest organisms in the world, but that wouldn't really be true, because of all of the diseases that you're going to hear about today are caused by viruses, and as you know, viruses are just protein-covered scumbags full of nucleic acid, so they're not generally considered living things, but still you got to hand it to them. Viruses have probably been around for at least tens of millions of years, and have managed to make a great living by ripping off our DNA like they're the freaking Pirate Bay, and using it to copy themselves and pretty much master our asses for as long as there have been warts. But I'm not talking about warts here, guys, it's much worse than that. I'm talking about the diseases with the highest known case fatality rates. Number 5. Marburg Virus. Scientists identified Marburg Virus in 1967, when small outbreaks occurred among lab workers in Germany who were exposed to infected monkeys imported from Uganda. Marburg virus is similar to Ebola in that both can cause hemorrhagic fever, meaning that infected people develop high fevers and bleeding throughout the body that can lead to shock, organ failure, and death. The mortality rate in the first outbreak was 25%, but it was more than 80% in the 1998 to 2000 outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as in the 2005 outbreak in Angola, according to the World Health Organization. Number 4. Rabies. Rabies is a fatal but preventable viral disease. It can spread to people and pets if they are bitten or scratched by a rabid animal. In the United States, rabies is mostly found in wild animals like bats, raccoons, skunks, and foxes. However, in many other countries dogs still carry rabies, and most rabies deaths in people around the world are caused by dog bites. The rabies virus infects the central nervous system. If a person does not receive the appropriate medical care after a potential rabies exposure, the virus can cause disease in the brain, ultimately resulting in death. Rabies can be prevented by vaccinating pets, staying away from wildlife, and seeking medical care after potential exposures before symptoms start. Although rabies vaccines for pets, which were introduced in the 1920s, have helped make the disease exceedingly rare in the developed world, this condition remains a serious problem in India and parts of Africa. It destroys the brain. It's a really bad disease, Mulberger said. We have a vaccine against rabies, and we have antibodies that work against rabies, so if someone gets bitten by a rabid animal we can treat this person, she said. However, she said, if you don't get treatment, there's a 100% possibility you will die. Number 3. HIV or the human immunodeficiency. In sub-Saharan Africa is HIV positive, according to the World Health Organization. Number 2. Hantavirus. Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, HPS, first gained wide attention in the US in 1993, when a healthy, young Navajo man and his fiancée living in the Four Corners area of the United States died within days of developing shortness of breath. A few months later, health authorities isolated hantavirus from a deer mouse living in the home of one of the infected people. More than 600 people in the US have now contracted HPS, and 36% have died from the disease, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The virus is not transmitted from one person to another, rather, people contract the disease from exposure to the droppings of infected mice. Previously, a different Hantavirus caused an outbreak in the early 1950s, during the Korean War, according to a 2010 paper in the journal Clinical Microbiology Reviews. More than 3,000 troops became infected, and about 12% of them died. While the virus was new to Western medicine when it was discovered in the US, researchers realized later that Navajo medical traditions describe a similar illness, and link the disease to mice. Number 1. Ebola virus. Ebola virus disease, formerly known as Ebola hemorrhagic fever, is a rare but severe, often fatal illness in humans. The virus is transmitted to people from wild animals and spreads in the human population through human-to-human transmission. The average EVD case fatality rate is around 50%. Case fatality rates have varied from 25% to 90% in past outbreaks. Community engagement is key to successfully controlling outbreaks. Good outbreak control relies on applying a package of interventions, namely case management, infection prevention and control practices, surveillance and contact tracing, a good laboratory service, safe and dignified burials and social mobilization. Vaccines to protect against Ebola are under development and have been used to help control the spread of Ebola outbreaks in Guinea and in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Early supportive care with rehydration, symptomatic treatment improves survival. There is no licensed treatment proven to neutralize the virus, but a range of blood, immunological and drug therapies are under development. The cause is an acute, serious illness which is often fatal if untreated. It first appeared in 1976 in two simultaneous outbreaks, one in what is now Nzara, South Sudan, and the other in Yambuku, DRC. The latter occurred in a village near the Ebola River, from which the disease takes its name. The 2014 to 2016 outbreak in West Africa was the largest Ebola outbreak since the virus was first discovered in 1976. The outbreak started in Guinea and then moved across land borders to Sierra Leone and Liberia. The current 2018 to 2019 outbreak in eastern DRC is highly complex, with insecurity adversely affecting public health response activities. The virus family Filoviridae includes 3 genera, Hantavirus, Marburg Virus, and Ebola Virus. Within the genus Ebola Virus, 6 species have been identified: Zaire, Bundabuchio, Sudan, Thai Forest, Reston, and Bombali. The virus causing the current outbreak in DRC and the 2014 to 2016 West African outbreak belongs to the Zaire Ebola virus species.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell for more amazing videos every day.